Hey, Jeff Schubert here, and welcome back. We are back here at Film Nut after a 2-week hiatus. Brian Grimeau is back and ready for work. Brian, do you have a good 2 weeks off?
I had a great 2 weeks off. It was amazing.
Yeah, you spent some time. You spent some time with your family.
I spent some time with my family, my friends, my girlfriend's family, and my girlfriend's friends. It was muy excelente.
Do you need the name and number of a good therapist all that time with your family?
No, that is therapy to me. It was excellent. I had a great time.
All right, good deal. Well, hey, we're back with an outstanding show tonight. We've got Lloyd Kaufman, independent horror satire movie king. He's been doing this for over 34 years. We are very excited to have him here. I'm personally fortunate to have met him 10 years ago and had an on-again, off-again relationship, so I really appreciate him coming in. He's got a lot of great things to say. This interview is going to break down into 3 segments. We're going to talk about his latest and greatest feature, Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. We are going to talk about, I'm going to ask him some follow-up questions based on an interview I did with him for a book I'm writing on filmmaking. And then we're also going to ask him some questions and go over some clips from his 5 DVD set, Make Your Own Damn Movie. This is an outstanding set of DVDs with lots of material, lots of interviews with celebrities, people that you know, and it's very informative to anyone, you know, wanting to make a film. A lot of good stuff. Before we get to the trailer, though, I want to mention that while Brian was gone, he actually was doing a little bit of work on the site. So now each show on the stream.tv has its own show page, and on that show page for Film Nut, you can see each and every show that's been archived. So if you missed a show and you want to check it out, you can go to the Film Nut show page. It gives you a little bit of information about what each episode number is about, and you can check it out. And of course, we also have the blogs. So without further ado, because we got a lot of material to get through tonight, let's show the trailer for Poultrygeist.
You the manager.
You know it.
Give me a job! I'm a high school graduate just trying to make his way in this topsy-turvy world. My life, it sucks. And my one true love?
I'll stay true to you. It'll never change me. I promise.
Is a left-wing lipstick lesbo liberal. Ah, Wendy!
Arby?
You said you'd never change, but here you are, you're just bumping tacos.
You're hired.
What do I do?
You're the counter girl.
You fool! This restaurant is built on ancient Troma tribe sacred Indian burial ground. Get out while you still can. Get out! Save yourselves! Save yourselves!
I'll have the sloppy Jose value meal.
Good morning, Tromaville!
We will never rest while big business tramples over the rich history and culture of the Native Americans while simultaneously slaughtering countless innocent chickens.
Hey, General, what are these tiny little bumps all over my chicken?
Those are our new flavor pods.
Look at the atrocities American Chicken Bunker performs on the chickens that you serve to the ignorant masses.
We produce only high-quality, chicken-flavored foodstuffs.
And now, the most important part, the secret zest sauce.
Every leg, every thigh is fresh, tasty, and oh my God, my ass! The chickens come back from the dead!
They are very slowly approaching the entrance.
They'll break through faster than the 5 minutes it took me to turn Wendy into a full-blown lesbian.
Damn it! We need action before they turn the glass into lesbians.
Great stuff, very funny. Ladies and gentlemen, Lloyd Kaufman.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. As you can see, Poultrygeist, in this age of remakes, it's a shot-by-shot exact remake of the great Spielberg's classic Black Men in a Boat,
That's right.
classic Amistad.
That's right.
Except instead of the boat, we have a fast food chicken establishment, and instead of the black men, we've got chicken Indian zombies.
right.
And instead of Anthony Hopkins, we got the great Shakespearean actor Ron Jeremy.
Yes.
Poultrygeist.
Noted for his Shakespearean work.
Tell your theaters, by the way, out there. I see somebody's asked what theaters it'll be in. You have to tell your local theater to play Poultrygeist because Troma depends on our fans to keep the Troma crusade going.
Absolutely. And I tell you, before we get to my questions, I'm glad we have an instant message right away from Joxer wanting to know how Poultrygeist did in Cannes. And you answered the second part of it, how we can get into your local theaters. And to the viewers, if you ask some good, interesting instant messages, we're going to give away a copy of Lloyd's The Toxic Avenger Part 3.
That's the last temptation of Toxie. It's a very, very good one.
And we have 2 copies of Poultrygeist Night of the Chicken Dead, the exclusive preview, which has that trailer and a lot of other information as well. So keep those IMs coming in. So how did it do at Cannes?
Well, we premiered Poultrygeist in its 35 millimeter. The movie was shot in 35 millimeter, and huge amount of Moscow Times, CBS, media from all over the world. French, of course, love me as a director. I'm sort of the Jerry Lewis of slapstick gore. So we had a great reception at Cannes. It was really great. Quentin Tarantino talked about the picture, and he loves Troma, and I think Poultrygeist was the surprise buzz or cluck of. We had some real good cluck at
good cluckage
at Cannes Film Festival.
It sounds like it's off to a great start, and it's only a matter of time before we get to see it here.
Well, it's a great foul movement.
Yeah, the great foul. I like that. So
and it likes you. Plus, Brian, I spent some time with Brian's girlfriend too recently. It was really great. During that hiatus, it was fantastic. But what you don't know about is his boyfriend.
That's right.
Lance. We met at the manhole. It was amazing.
Wow, I didn't know you guys were.
Yeah, we were talking about the chicken hawks and Poultrygeist. That's really great.
So we have another one here right off the bat here from Iron Toxie. So I hear you fell asleep on the sidewalk outside of the chicken bunker during a break. Were you pushing yourself too hard?
The name of the fast food place is called American Chicken Bunker, and it's a war theme. The fast food, the children get to learn about war, and they get to drink soft drinks out of a pistol, so they can feel what it's like to put the business end of a shotgun in their mouths. And we had a lunch break, and I sat on the sidewalk in front of the main avenue of Buffalo, New York, and went to sleep. And then people, of course, urinated on me and took pictures of me and put signs on me and let all the crack addicts in the neighborhood steal my wallet and rape me up the kazoo. And yeah, really nice. Thanks, Troma team. And thanks whoever that is for reminding me about that great moment.
So just another typical Lloyd Kaufman great time on a film set.
Well, it was one of the best ass rapings I've ever had, let's put it that way. Thanks to Poultrygeist.
One of the best. I won't ask how many.
Yes.
Now, on this particular trailer even that we saw, I noticed there was a huge cast. And this is a low-budget movie, not a lot of money spent. We saw the flavor parts and when the dead chickens were about to storm the castle or, storm the restaurant. Is that difficult to do on a low-budget set, managing, coordinating?
We had a very, very long pre-production period, and we sent people up to Buffalo, New York. Jamie Greco, who was my personal assistant for 2 years, she's both, went up to Buffalo and met with over 1,000 people.
Oh, wow.
And then from that culled a team of about 300 people who would show up day after day after day. We don't call them extras, by the way. Right. That's demeaning. Everyone is equal on a Troma set. Oh, right. So they're called actor persons.
Okay.
And the idea is you don't want the crowd scenes to be different. You want to develop each character in the crowd scene so that when they become chicken Indian zombies later on, you can see that the Mexican guy is a Mexican zombie and that the wheelchair actor person is a wheelchair zombie, and the retarded zombie is a retarded crowd person. So they're characters, and we take a lot of trouble with our detail, and the background people, the actor persons, are very, very important. Yeah. So they worked their hell, and they got no money. Right. They were out there baking in the sun every day for 6 weeks, and they had to bring their own food. I mean, the only thing they got out of it was being in a Troma movie, and they were terrific. And then, of course, 300 of them had to. Which I sort of get a kick out of. We managed to convince 300 people to stay up all night, put glue on their bodies, put feathers all over their bodies, and beaks and noses, and and be chicken zombies.
Wow. Well, the IM board is lighting up, so let's get to another
nice.
one. Let's see. I've enjoyed contacting Lloyd about celery stalking and French maids through MySpace. Does he find it easier to connect with fans through social networking sites such as MySpace?
Well, I usually go to younghairlessboys.com, and then there's also youngasianhairlessboys.com, and I connect with so many young. As a gay married man, I find it's amazing how the networking on the internet is. It's just. Oh, you mean about filmmaking? Sorry, folks.
Yeah, police. He was just kidding.
Yes, the French maids. I connect with everybody. I'm like the Henry Kissinger of the independent movie world, and actually, he created more gore because he bombed Cambodia.
That's wow.
You know, George Bush was in my class at Yale University. And,
was he?
Yes.
You two have a lot in common.
The class of '68. Well, we both have produced some bombs.
That's right.
And he was always running around campus freshman year looking for. Weapons of mass destruction. We never could figure that one out. But getting back to the French maid, whoever you are, I want to meet you. I definitely want to do some networking.
Yeah.
Et je parle français couramment. Je parle très bien le français.
I am
oui. Chevrolet Coupe de Ville. Oui.
I am Lloyd after the show. Let's see. This is Daryl from San Jose. Will Lloyd buy me a drink at the Texas Frightmare Weekend VIP party? Pretty please. Oh, geez. Let's hear where this one goes.
I don't buy. People buy me drinks.
Oh, okay.
People, crack cocaine too. And I take it all. But I'm not very generous when it comes to forking. I'm an artiste, you know.
Here's a
young
question.
people must support the artistes.
Here's a question I like, Lloyd. Beefloaf wants to know, why did it take so long for you to complete Poultrygeist? I've been waiting for this movie for years.
Well, Beefloaf has a very good point. If you look at my history, I take a long time. Right. People think that we just slap these Troma movies together. We don't take ourselves seriously, but we take our movies very seriously. It took me 5 years to get to the script of Tromeo and Juliet that I felt was ready to go.
Right.
I mean, we put up our own money for these movies. In the case of Poultrygeist, my wife and I put up all the money, $500,000 to make it 35 millimeter for our fans. And so we take the films very seriously. And with Poultrygeist, it just took a long time to make before I felt we. In fact, we had filmed. We saved some money out of the budget so we could film during post-production, and we had two sessions of filming during the editing period, and we blew up the fast food place in post-production, and we had to do that with miniatures, and then we wanted to put Debbie Rochon, who's one of our ensemble characters, one of our ensemble actors. We wanted to make sure she'd be in the movie, so we created an insert scene for her to be in.
Well, I tell you, it's great because you don't rush, and as you said, you're very meticulous about details. We were talking about locations a little bit before we came on. You were just talking about.
Well, also, we're economically blacklisted. We're economically blacklisted. So, Blockbuster has never played has never had a Troma movie. Right. The Independent Film Channel, which should be called Fuck the Independent Film Channel, they've never ever had a Troma movie in 35 years of Troma. They haven't even had Trey Parker's Cannibal the Musical. Right. They've never had a Toxic Avenger movie. They've never had Dario Argento's Asia Argento, the first movie that he did. They've never had a Troma movie, period. So what's the rush? Why do we have to rush to get our movies made? Right. It's kind of a luxury being blacklisted. Right. It's Peter Jackson's job is to get his movie ready for Christmas.
And it's great because you take your time and you get it right, which I think a lot of filmmakers can learn from, not rushing the script. Not when things aren't ready to go, they're just not ready to go. So let's see. We have Game Name wants to know. I would really like to hear what he thinks about this Mikhail.
Mikhail Gorbachev. Take down that wall, Mr. Gorbachev, and put up a chicken fast food place. That's much better than a wall.
Let's see. Okay, I think
we
I
need to
got
tear the wall down so
the
East Germans can have more crap food. Yes. Right. Thanks, Ronald Reagan.
Game Name wants to know. This may be a question for later, but what is Lloyd's stance on the new generation of entertainment? What do you think about the future of independent entertainment? What is Troma doing for the future of independence? Wow.
Well, that's a very good question. And first of all, we are living in a great age in a way because for the first time, film has become democratized. You used to have to be rich to own a car. And when cars came out, only rich people could own them. They cost $500,000 when $500,000 was like $1 billion. Right. And now in the 50s, suddenly everybody could own a car in the 1950s. Right. We're at that point where everyone could make a movie. Right. It used to be you had to be rich to make a film. Now you don't need celluloid. You can use a little handy cam. If you see Troma's All the Love You Can, the documentary about the Cannes Film Festival, it costs nothing. It's my home movies, and it's actually made money. It's been in film festivals all over the world, and it's made some money, and that's a wonderful thing. The bad side, of course, is that you have the media is controlled by a small number of giant devil-worshipping international media conglomerates, and they are sucking dry the little people of the world of their economic and spiritual capital, and that we must fight against. And Troma, through my books, through the Tromadance, we just had our 8th. Whoops, there it is.
Go for it.
I'm going to improvise. Get off the chair. Why not? And I am alive. We had the 8th year of the Tromadance Film Festival, which takes place during Sundance at Park City, Utah, and it's all free. It's a totally free, genuinely independent film festival. I've written 3 books. I'm writing 2 more now. In fact, in addition to make your own damn movie, I'm going to be writing a book called Greenlight Your Own Damn Movie.
Oh, wonderful.
So, so there's
nice
Troma is we are going to be here for a while. They're not going to put us away. They're trying to kill us for sure. I mean, there's no question that the establishment would like to get rid of us because, as Peter Jackson, one of those directors, said, Troma is the conscience of the independent film community. And certainly with Tromadance, we're the conscience of Sundance.
Right. Well, you're certainly doing more than your share. And I think in addition, first, the ease with which of making films happened in terms of being more affordable and cheaper. And now I think the internet is catching up in terms of providing self-distribution means with the social networking sites and all the different avenues there are to self-distribute and build and develop your own audience. So it is a better time.
Well, we're distributing movies by these new filmmakers who don't have to go to Hollywood and lick ass. Chris Watson works in a liquor store. He's got it, reason I like him, because I can get a few free drinks, but he made Slaughter Party, he made Zombiegeddon, he makes his own damn movies, and he's got a day job, and those movies, they're $15,000 budgets maximum, and he can sell them at conventions. We get a little television, we sell some foreign. He actually is making money, and he has a day job, and he doesn't have to go around talking to 22-year-old jerks in suits who don't know anything, who work for Paramount. And Giuseppe Andrews, who acts in, you'll see him in Cabin Fever. He's the sheriff in Cabin Fever. He's made a ton of movies, cost nothing, just with a little mini DV. We've been distributing those for him. And those we don't make money with, but he is brilliant. Giuseppe Andrews, watch out for him, because this guy is really, really a genius. And his films, in fact, Adam Rifkin produced some of Adam Rifkin, who is just recently wrote Underdog, and which reminds me, I've got women's underpants on, which I have to switch after the show. I apologize about that. But the point is, Giuseppe Andrews is a brilliant filmmaker who's making movies literally for nothing. And if you like to see old naked men fucking around, Giuseppe Andrews movies like Trailer Town and Touch Me in the Morning, all available through Troma.
Okay. Now, back to your trailer. There was a lot of good special effects stuff going on. There was eyes popping out of heads. There was your assistant, Kyle, going through the meat grinder. Are those
Kyle Walker, by the way, graduated from Yale University in the year 2004, had never been on a movie set, and he is one of the producers of Poultrygeist.
Now, how were those scenes to set up?
And I took great joy in having him be the guy who was in the. He's down underneath the meat grinder while all the blood is spurting.
Were those his legs flailing?
No. There was somebody else. We had sort of a semi-stuntman do that, because there's a little bit of danger involved.
So all those types of scenes, are those difficult to set up? Are they time-consuming?
They're unbelievably time-consuming. The most difficult, technically, oddly enough, perhaps the most technically difficult scene that we had was we had to have a camera inside of a toilet while Joe Fleischaker, a.k.a. Michael Hers, who plays Jared in the movie, he weighs about 500 pounds, and we had to have a toilet cam while Joe Fleischaker's behind came into the toilet, sat on the toilet, and then had an explosive diarrhea. Now, you can't, that is very, very hard. And, George Lucas has tried this over and over again. He has failed. We did succeed, but it took us 2 whole days to do it. And then my wife made us censor a couple of the shots because she felt they were, since she put the money up, I had to give her a break. Otherwise, she would have kicked my ass.
Wow, we wouldn't want that. Let's see, another
My wife, by the
here.
way, if anyone wants to film in New York State, my wife is the New York State Film Commissioner. New York State is a great, very, very good place to film. I mean, we've filmed there for 35 years, and it really is great.
Beefloaf wants to know, will you please tell Uncle Lloydie that I love him? Do we know who Beefloaf is?
I don't know, but I think I want to know.
Beefloaf is a very attractive female, actually.
Oh, wow.
Beefloaf is a female.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
very
Well,
nice.
please please make sure that I get to know you. I don't know where you're from, but thank you very much.
And Larson wants to know, what does he mean low budget? How much is low? So what's the range of Troma movie budgets?
Well, Poultrygeist was about $500,000 because it's 35 millimeter and you know, I'm old, so I shoot 35 millimeter, and I like the look of it. And our fans enjoy seeing a movie in a communal atmosphere in a movie theater that looks crisp and beautiful colors. But Giuseppe Andrews movies cost nothing.
Right.
You know, $200 or $300 is the whole budget, and you can get them. They're out. We've put them out on DVD.
So when you say $200 or $300, that means he's
for the whole movie.
He's like a one-man crew, basically.
Yes.
At that budget, right?
He writes his own music. He does everything himself.
Right.
Chris Watson is making, as I mentioned, movies for $10,000, $15,000. Pot Zombies, which is a movie that I think with Chris Watson we may have put a few bucks in it. Pot Zombies, I don't think we put any money in it. I think he just made it himself.
Sure.
I think Jason. Anyway, I can't remember what's his last. I don't remember his last name. Made in Texas.
Right.
Very Troma-esque and very funny. And he's also putting on Tromapalooza, which is a concert to raise money for Tromadance, because
Tromadance is an all-free festival, and
there's we don't charge for tickets, so we have to depend on sponsors and our fans to raise the money. So Justin Powers, he made Pot Zombies, and I think a few $1,000, and it's funny as hell, and it looks good.
And if people want more information on Tromadance, that would be tromadance.com, correct?
Yes, tromadance.com.
Okay,
Indeed.
That was a question of Sean's. Let's see. You said you were looking for your next script. Mr. JB wants to know, have you had any submissions from people, and have you read anything that really struck you yet?
I've gotten, I'm looking for an ensemble piece, and if you go to the Troma website, troma.com or lloydkaufman.com or MySpace, you can see the text of what I'm looking for, but I'm basically, we got really, really good actors for Poultrygeist, and I want to do an ensemble piece that is out there that's nobody else would dare to do.
Right.
But I don't want to do the next zombie movie. I don't want to do another Crash. I don't want to do
Don't you like doing like Pulp Fiction 3? Isn't that
yeah,
what
I
you
don't.
want to do?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'd like to get away from.
Right.
I want to do the first of something.
The first of something.
And I don't. I would prefer not to write it. I'd love to find something sort of in the style of Neil LaBute, that kind of a movie.
Sure.
And I haven't really read. I've read a lot of scripts.
Right.
I read one called Baby Blue Eyes, and then I lost the script, and I don't have the guy's name written down. So if there's anybody out there,
the writer of Baby Blue Eyes?
Yeah, Baby Blue Eyes is out there. That was a script I read that I thought was very good, and that, you know, with a bit of work, I might be able to direct it if the writer didn't mind my fucking with his work a little bit. And then Trent Hager has written a very interesting script called, I think it's called Trent Hager, who starred in Terra Firma and wrote Citizen Toxie and wrote part of Make Your Own Damn Movie. He has written a script called Dog Raped Wife. And I find it very, very intriguing. I really, really, it's just I feel he may have borrowed a little too much from Rodgers and Hammerstein's Sound of Music with the Dog Raped Wife. But I think we can get through that.
Speaking of make your own damn movie, since I did bring it up at the top.
Make your own damn movie.
Make your own damn movie. Why don't we go ahead and show our next clip, Peter?
We have way too many IMs.
Okay.
Way too many IMs.
Way too many IMs?
Wow, great.
That's really cool. Okay, so let's see what the next one
there.
is. Hey, what's the word on American Poultrygeist screenings? All we're seeing are things in other countries. Now there's something announced for Arizona, but who cares about them? Ooh, we like people in Arizona. Are there any chances you'll bring it to Chicago?
Well, the movie is 35 millimeter. We have Chicago's a good point. We've sent a DVD screener to the Music Box Cinema in Chicago. We've called them, and they don't call us back. So you tell me, what should we do? It's up to the fans. It's up to the Troma fans to go into their movie theater and say, I want Troma.
So again, if you're watching the show and you want to see Poultrygeist in a theater near you, as they say, go ahead and call your local independent art houses and call your friends who might be interested as well and have them do it. I mean, Troma, you're a grassroots company. I mean, that's how you've been doing it for 34 years.
It's only because of our fans that we are still around after those many years. It's thanks to the fans, and not just thanks to the fans, but also, Jeff, it's not just thanks to the fans, it's also thanks to the air conditioners.
That's right.
Because I'm very fragile. I get the vapors.
Well, but what about that one actor on your set there who was really hot and he was sweating and he was in a diaper and the sweat of his testicles turned the diaper the wrong color?
Blue. Well, that's right. That's how you know if the baby urinated. In Citizen Toxie, we had the diaper mafia.
Right.
We were satirizing Columbine. And that guy was actually Caleb Emerson. Caleb Emerson has gone on to make a very interesting film called Die, You Zombie Bastards. And I actually say that I'm in Poultrygeist, and when I'm machine gunning zombies, I say, "Die, you zombie bastards," which is a tribute to Caleb Emerson's fine movie called "Die, you zombie bastards," and it says nothing. It's not a Troma release or anything like that. I'm just a good guy.
You are that way.
And Caleb is a good guy.
That's right.
And by the way, right at this very moment, Will Keenan from Romeo and Juliet, Trent Haga from Terra Firma, and Caleb from Poultrygeist, sort of 3 generations of Troma, are all making a movie out here with Shirley MacLaine and some other old bag, and it's about hitting dead people or something, running over dead people, and running over homeless people. Old women are running over homeless people and collecting the insurance, and it's a big movie with Lindsay Lohan and all sorts of other. So it's a big movie, and 3 generations of Troma people are producing, writing, and I don't think they're directing it.
Very exciting. Joxer wants to know what's your next appearance at a convention?
Well, Joxer, I'm going to be at the Texas Frightmare, which is in June 22nd in Dallas.
Okay.
And then I'm going to be given the Lifetime Achievement Award at a festival in Italy, Caserta, I believe, the next weekend, which I think is June 28th or 29th.
That's very exciting.
I got my whole summer. If you go to Troma.com, you can see the appearances. So
fantastic.
I've got a fairly big schedule of different festivals.
And you do a lot of these throughout the year?
Well, I get, I've been doing it for 35 years, and when they can't get, Steven Spielberg or Roger Corman, then, Lloyd Kaufman.
Here comes Lloyd,
Give him a couple of free drinks, he'll show up.
Here's an interesting question from a fan of the Stream TV. Here we go. If you had $20 million to make a movie, would you change your movie-making style? My friend described you as Tarantino on a budget.
Well, Tarantino is a very big supporter of Troma. He wears Troma T-shirts, and he definitely helped us out at Cannes. He talked about Troma and Poultrygeist. We had about 30 people at Cannes who were volunteers from all over the world, and they stay in a little apartment, and then they go out in the streets and do street theater to support Troma movies at Cannes and also support independent cinema. And so Tarantino is very, very good about helping, trying to keep the Troma name out there.
Isn't that like a little backwards? Because didn't you inspire a lot of these filmmakers, like the Trey Parkers, the James Gunns?
Yeah, sure. Well, Trey Parker has acted in Tales from the Crapper for free. He did the Aristocrats joke in Tales from the Crapper 2 years before the movie came out. James Gunn, of course, went on to write Dawn of the Dead and Scooby-Doo after Romeo and Juliet, and he directed the best horror film of the year, in my opinion, called Slither. Although it's not so much scary, but clever and funny and sophisticated, and they all have been very loyal. But if I had $20 million, I would make 40 movies. Except I would give 38 movies. I would give 38 packages of $500,000 to 38 different people with the stipulation that they shoot in 35 millimeter. I wouldn't even stipulate that. I would suggest to them that try 35, but I would let them do whatever they want, and then I would make two $500,000 movies. I would never make a movie for $20 million. I have no interest in that.
Well, it's amazing. Yeah, you've been doing your thing your way for 34 years.
Well, it's disgusting, isn't it? In an age of Darfur, you've got 800,000 people a year getting cornholed and killed and cannibalized and God knows what, and half the world is, literally half the world doesn't have enough to eat, and people are, People magazine are bragging. That's a sign of status. If you pay Tom Cruise $20 million, you pay some clothes horse $20 million I mean, it's disgusting. It's obscenity. That's obscenity. Troma's, people say my movies are obscene. We're amateurs when it comes to. Thank you. We're amateurs when it comes to obscenity.
Yeah, and you're making me laugh and cry in the same interview.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's see. Beatloaf is back. Let's see. He can call me anything he wants. I'll call him Daddy.
Sounds good. Who's your daddy now, Beatloaf? Just remember that. That's a line from Citizen Toxie. Noxie says that to Sarah. Anyway, Beefloaf, don't forget to contact me, and maybe you can be a Tromette of the Month on the Troma website. Tromette of the Month are very intelligent gynos. We don't say woman, we say gyno, because woman has the word man in it. It's politically incorrect. They're very intelligent gynos with big brains and very small clothing.
There we go. Let's see. Here's a new IMer, Cured Concrete. And by the way, he'll be appearing all week at the Comedy Store. Hey, got a question for Troma. If they did another Grindhouse, how would Troma feel about doing something if he got an offer?
There are only two ways to go about working for somebody. Either you have total freedom, or you just become a hired gun. I've learned the hard way. You cannot compromise. If you compromise, it just becomes a mess. So either you have a deal with whoever's hiring you, And that's why I get no work, and I have a very bad. Brett Ratner just told me at Cannes that I have a bad reputation in Hollywood because I want to be an artist or something.
Now, did he think that was new information to you?
Well, he wants to remake Mother's Day,
Oh,
and I
okay.
had to. I asked him for a tiny little. It's my brother's movie. It's not even my movie, and I asked him for just to give my brother a little bit of front money.
Sure.
And this is a guy. He gets $10 million to direct a movie, but he can't give us any front money. Nothing.
Right.
So, and then he said something about I have a bad reputation, if
Right.
I remember correctly. So the point is, you can't compromise. You have to either do exactly what you want, or you just do what they tell you.
Well,
Right?
and you often tell me that if you ever, as an independent, if you ever attempt to go mainstream, you really can't without being screwed.
Well, in my case, the one or two times that I was able to penetrate the hymen of the mainstream, I was the one who got fucked, and
So that's
so
been your experience.
that has been my experience, and therefore I've been helped to. The mainstream definitely has kicked me out, so to speak. And it's been the Directors Guild pretty much forced me out.
Right.
I've been literally forced out. Sure it's my own fault, but I have chosen this path, and I'm kind of happy.
Right.
I've had 40 years of making movies. The French Cinémathèque shows my Cinémathèque Française calls me an auteur, one of the few American auteur movie
forget
makers.
it. It has nothing to do with fault. You ask any filmmaker in their mid-20s, okay, right now we can guarantee you a career like Lloyd Kaufman's, you can take your chance. I would jump at your career in a heartbeat. So we had an instant message on there that looked pretty good, but I think it's gone now, so I'm going to have to skip it.
Sorry.
It was, here it is, right here. Hi, in all capital letters from Isaac. I am a crazy fan, and I just want to ask about how awesome a life of a Troma director is.
Well,
Make Your Own Damn Movie, and you might have a different opinion.
If you read the book, Make Your Own Damn Movie, I'm down in the basement. The book opens where I'm down in the basement of the Troma building fighting these huge raccoon-sized rats who have crapped up the place, and there's generations of dead rat bodies, and I open a rat up and these spiders pour out, and nobody would go down there. I had to do it myself. I, as the filmmaker, and that was such a good metaphor for what you have to do if you're a Troma movie or an independent filmmaker. You will have to go down to the fight the rats and clean up rat shit.
Yeah, that's when your interns say to you, you know what, you're really not paying me enough to go clean, to go fight army.
Well, Gabe Friedman, who was I think it was his first week on the job, and he was barely. He's the guy who Poultrygeist is basically his story. He worked in a fast food establishment. He did go down to that
now,
horrible
weren't you
place.
next door to a McDonald's? And
Yes.
Didn't this kind of also have to do with the formulation of Poultrygeist, or no?
Well, McDonald's moved in next door to the Troma building, and we
that's when the
immediately
rats
had
came.
rats.
Right.
Then we, bit by bit, I found out that Gabe had worked in a fast food establishment, and then he turned me on to the book Fast Food Nation, and slowly, and then also PETA, People's Ethical Treatment of Animals.com, became a sponsor of Tromadance, and seeing some of their movies convinced me I should stop eating meat, and anyway, this all led to Poultrygeist.
Well, I think it's a great example of how a negative situation can be the inspiration for a successful film.
Well, my career at Yale was Chinese studies, my major at Yale, and the yin and the yang, where you have good and evil together, and the oyster gets a piece of sand stuck in its asshole, and it's very painful, but then it creates this beautiful pearl, all that kind of stuff. So, that to some extent has guided Troma through its business career too.
Now, I know we've got a lot of IMs. We're going to do our best to get to as many as we can. So, having said that, I think I should get to another one, right? Let's see. Godzilla. Have you been promoting this film Troma crazily like you should be doing? And how do tell people?
I think it's and how do tell.
And how do tell. Please. Thanks. Lots of love.
Well, we're about to test the film. We're going to have a test engagement of Poultrygeist in Tucson, Arizona, at the Loft Cinema in September 21st to be exact. And we're trying to get other movie theaters now to play it. It's 35 millimeter. It's beautiful. We're meeting with cinemas in New York now to, that may, if we get a good theater there, that may spark some other movie theaters around the country to call us. But it's very, very difficult for us to get the attention of the movie theaters because they're all under the thumb of the movies that have 10,000 screens.
Right.
Shrek 3 is in 3,000, 4,000, or 10,000 screens. What the hell they want interested in Poultry? They don't. Poultrygeist could be the best movie in the world, but we don't have the money to advertise. So it's we're going to have to build Poultrygeist with one theater and just slowly bootstrap it.
For a film that has a budget of anywhere from $300 to $500,000, what's the most theaters they can realistically hope to get their film in without having, Fox Searchlight or something like that behind them?
Well, again, there are no rules to this game, but the last movie that I directed, which was not Tales from the Crapper, was, although I did kind of direct that, Jorge, by the way, whatever is Garcia from Lost, that's his Tales from the Crapper, gave him his start. He got into that series because of that. And at any rate, the Citizen Toxie played in about 300 U.S. theaters, not all at the same time, but we make a small number of prints. We move them around from territory to territory and try to keep it alive in the theaters so our fans can see it on a big screen.
Wonderful. The real, what's that, Zodiac? Okay.
The Real Zodiac Killer.
The Real Zodiac Killer. That's a good one. Is there anything in the future for Toxie, or is he retired for good? My favorite movie ever, by the way.
Well, the Toxic Avenger just has completed his fourth film, Citizen Toxie. Toxie may appear in some Troma movies, but I'm not really that interested. If somebody wants to put up the money to make the fifth Toxic Avenger, I'd be happy to write it and direct it, or they could go off and do it themselves, provided they stay on model.
Right.
But I'm not too interested in Toxie. And it took, there were 10 years between the Toxic Avenger Part 3, Last Temptation of Toxie, which we're giving away here, and Citizen Toxie. So, maybe I'll get hot on Toxie in a couple of years, but I'm really looking forward to finding a script that is where the actors can really act for a change.
Exciting. Now, let's see. Tish Thompson was wearing a dress, a freeing experience?
Excuse me? Tish Thompson was what? Wearing a dress of what?
No, that's the screen name.
Oh, yes.
And the question to you is, was wearing a dress, I guess, a freeing experience?
Well, I have worn women's clothing many times in my life, so it's nothing new. But in Citizen Toxie, the person at the counter, the guy who is told to serve the counter, is called a counter girl. That's a slang word. So we dressed Arby, the main character is named Arby. We dressed him in a dress, but it's sort of a military kind of dress. And I play Arby of sort of the older version of Arby. He doesn't know, but he's seeing himself in the future, a loser who's been at the chicken establishment, working at American Chicken Bunker for 25 years. So we dance around. We do a song. There's singing and dancing in this movie, which is what makes Poultrygeist so interesting. Is that not only do you have the gore and the science fiction and the comedy and the intellectual side of Troma, but you also have some 5 or 6 very witty Rodgers and Hammerstein type songs.
Now, you mentioned your last answer about wanting to work with really good actors in your next film.
Well, Poultrygeist, the acting is terrific. Other than my own acting, the rest of it's really good. I mean, they're really, really good. So I'm thinking, let me try to get part of the reason that we've structured our films the way we have is we've never really had great actors. So now we've got great actors. So I'm looking for a script that will give the actors a chance to act, to give them a chance to really. But I want to do something that again is daring and controversial and will challenge the audience and give them something to think about. And a Neil LaBute play would be terrific, something along those lines.
Well, I think from what I saw, because I saw some additional featurettes on the promo for Poultrygeist, the acting does look very good and controversial and current and topical. I'm very excited for it. Let's see, we got Gangsters Mo. Lloyd, if you could remake any film at all, which one would it be?
I would like to remake Pal Joey, which is a musical by Rodgers and Hart based on a O'Hara short story. It's really, really dark. The music is terrific. There was a movie made of Pal Joey with Frank Sinatra, but it was awful. I mean, it was just horrible. And they cut out the best song in the show. And so if I could make any movie, I would probably choose that. And it has a very good point to it. I mean, it's really good.
Very impressive. You're not like prepared on these IMs, and you're rattling off your answers right away.
They're good questions. They're very good questions on the IMs.
Iron Toxie wants to know, what's the deal with CLAM, C-L-A-M?
That's the college lesbians against mega conglomerates. They are a group. They are a very active group. They worked with us in Buffalo, and they are part of the. We worked them into the protest scene against the. That work with it. Work with it. That's almost a slogan, on-set slogan on Troma's War, which was the most difficult film we ever had to film. Troma's War, we would have, we'd be shooting a scene and it would rain, snow, and 8 different types of weather in the same scene, and we would just say, work with it, rewrite it, and that is a big slogan of ours. I don't remember what your question was, but what was the
No,
point of-
you were
why
talking
am I-
about Clam.
Oh, so Clam showed up, and we put him in the movie. Why not? They're against mega conglomerates, so are we.
Right.
So college lesbians, and they have a website. They're on my MySpace.
Right.
They're in my top 10. And
Okay.
if anybody's interested in, writing for them, they welcome contributions.
Well, I appreciate the help back there, boys, but I'm on top of it. You're really into this. I like it.
I just wanted to yell Clam again.
Oh, okay, fair enough. The Real Zodiac is back. How would I go?
I think it's clampride.com, by the way. Clampride.com if you want to go to their website.
Okay. Now, I think I figured out a way how we're going to give away one of these promo things, because the Real Zodiac wants to know how would I go about being an extra in a Troma flick. The first person who can email in what Lloyd refers to extras as, because he doesn't use that term, will get one of these promo Poultrygeist exclusive
Very
DVDs.
cool. They're very limited. I'll sign it, too.
So don't say what you do. So we'll see if we
Okay.
get someone in. So how would you go about working in your film without lines?
I think the main thing is you check the Troma sites, and when you see that we're making our own damn movie, you sign up.
Right, yeah,
And
because
it's not easy to be a Troma. I can't say the word because
right.
But it's not easy.
No, and then also, if you're on MySpace at all, become a friend of Lloyd's and Troma and so forth. They send out bulletins when they're looking for people to work on their projects.
Indeed, we do. We're very
So-
interactive with
yeah.
our fans, and we've always been before the internet. We were interactive with our fans always.
Yeah. Let's see. Macra something. Wants Daryl from CA again. If someone asks you to be in their movie, is it true you will fly there on your own dime, or is that another piece of internet BS?
No, I've been in if you go to IMDb, I'm in about I don't know how many movies, and in many cases, I've where they don't have the money, I've gone there. I mean, again, to some extent, I want to see the part. I don't want to go there to do one line.
Right.
But this weekend I'm going down. There's a guy who has been a volunteer for Troma at Comic-Con in San Diego for years, and he's making his own damn movie, and I'm going to be in it for nothing. And I'm driving down to San Diego. I don't have to fly, but I'm driving there on my own dime.
Sure.
I'll put myself up and help him out. And why shouldn't I?
Personal, yeah. And
Again, it's part of the last 10 years or so of Troma, and all the future, in large part, will be devoted to, taking the mantle, trying to take the flag of independent cinema and run with it. I'm vice chairman of the Independent Film and Television Alliance, which is the trade association of independent movie companies. And I go down to Washington and lobby, and I meet with Congress people. I've met with McCain's people. I've met with FCC people, not just by myself, but with the lobbyist and with the head of Gene Pruitt, who's head of IFTA. And we try to tell the decision makers and FCC, hey, independent art and commerce are under assault.
Right.
They've created all these jobs. Trey Parker's first movie is Troma. Vincent D'Onofrio's first movie, Kevin Costner, Oliver Stone. All these people wouldn't be here maybe if Troma hadn't provided at the very least, a learning place for them, but at best a springboard into the mainstream.
Well, and it's a nice testament how loyal these guys stay to you too, and that says how you dealt with them and so forth.
Well, we're fighting but independent art is under assault, and not just under assault, but under a pepper.
And a personal testimony, I talked to you a while back about a part in one of my scripts. You didn't hesitate, sure, right away.
No, I'm very happy to do
you
that.
Gave me a letter and all that stuff, talking about letter of intent and all that kind of good
it's
stuff.
interesting. I seem to be getting cast either as a doctor or as a drunk. James Gunn put me in Slither as a sad drunk.
Right.
And in Rocky, the very first Rocky, John G. Avildsen cast me as a happy drunk. So it's interesting, the arc of my career as a drunk.
I've got a part for you as the head of an escort agency.
Nice.
So a little different.
Sweet. Well, that sounds very good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Let's see. They have to email. Why we say? Oh, yeah. If you want to email at the interact@thestream.tv to win. So yeah, when I just said say what Lloyd refers to extras as, I guess that doesn't work with the instant message. We got to have you email that answer to interact@thestream.tv.
And we got a few things to give away.
And we have 3 things, but 2 of them now are going to be based on instant messages. 1 is going to be based on who can get the answer to that question.
And we need the email. We need the email. So there's no way I can tell who came first in the instant messages. That's why you got to email. That's why.
Okay.
Here's another one.
Here's another one. Back. I'm very happy to be the reader tonight. Let's see. Mr. JB wants to know, you said that you were looking for your... Wait, we read that one already.
Okay.
And we read these 2 already.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe, I think it's another guy. It's another with the same question?
No, it was I remember. I'm not that senile
maybe he
yet.
stutters.
Here we go. How about some Troma porn starring Giuseppe Andrews? That's from Godzilla.
Giuseppe Andrews is an artist. He does whatever he wants. That's why I like him, because if he wants to do it, no problem.
No problem.
But, you know, it wouldn't be porn if he did. If Giuseppe Andrews did you know, had a graphic sex scene, that would be art. It wouldn't be porno. Porno is like sausage. It's a sausage. You know, it's just another thing. You know.
Okay,
I've never seen a porno movie, of course, so but I've heard about that. I've heard about it.
Okay, I've got a letter to read you from Jason. Let's see if this is all one. What do you think of self-movie making? Oh, I can tell you his answer right now. You saw my friend's movie off MySpace not too long ago called Revenge of the Gore-Munching Zomboid, where he literally made it in his house by himself using multiple camera angles to portray one person as two different characters. Do you think this is good for amateur filmmakers to practice their skills on editing and etc.?
It's
Wonderful.
a craft.
Yeah,
it's a craft. It's like painting. The more you do it, the better. But you have to love doing it. The key is don't make movies if you want swimming pools and limousines and lots of cocaine, because there are easier ways to get that.
Right.
But if you want to be, or you know, as Shakespeare said, "To thine own self be true," and he, of course, wrote that amazing best-selling book, 101 money-making screenplay ideas, otherwise known as Hamlet.
Right.
And,
now, in Make Your Own Damn Movie, you interview Eli Roth, and one of the things he talks about is the great thing about, in his opinion, because you were asking him about film school, and in his opinion, he was saying the great thing about film school is it gives you a place to fail.
Right.
It gives you a place to make, you know, movies over and over again. It gives you a deadline.
All you have to do is pay NYU $50,000. You can fail.
When for only $50, you can Make Your Own Damn Movie, right?
That's right.
Is that how it goes?
Well, that's the DVD box set. You can buy the book, make your own. Thank you, Peter. Make your own damn movie. This is the box set, DVD box set, but you can buy the book for $14. Right. Actually, you should buy a book, and they go together very, very nicely.
Absolutely.
And these are really not. These are not made to make money. They're made for the students. They're just made to try to give people the idea that you don't have to work for the big studios. You can make a living. You can have a career, and especially today, where you can make movies for nothing by making your own damn movie. You can do it. You just have to have enough confidence in yourself.
And by the way,
even Buffett. You know, Buffett, the guy with all the food on the tables.
Right.
No, that's a different kind of Buffett.
Right.
The Warren Buffett, the rich guy.
Right.
He says, invest in yourself.
Right.
That's his. The people ask him, how do you make money? Invest in yourself. Make your own damn movies. You don't have to go and work for MGM and make some kind of Firehouse Dog Part 13. You don't have to do that.
Yeah. And this is my own copy, by the way. This will not be given away tonight. But as to the IMer's question, no, it's great. Yeah, I mean, make films. Trial and error. That's a great thing that you got.
I mean,
that
you
system
guys
set up
should
in
look
your
at
house.
Terra Firma. Watch Terra Firma, because it's the most personal film I've made. It's about my own career. It's about the little artist against the big mess, the big, nasty fascist art world. And it's also, there's a documentary on Terra Firma DVD called Farts of Darkness, The Making of Terra Firma.
Right.
And it is such a great, it's a cautionary tale. It's inspirational. It is funny. It's sad. It's pathetic. It shows me as an asshole. It shows me as a spiritual person. It shows me as inspirational. And I think it's a great, I mean, that documentary alone, just watch that. And if after watching that you're still interested in making movies, go for it.
Well, that's another thing, and I don't mean to sound like a personal infomercial for you Make Your Own Damn Movie, but I loved how honest and upfront you were, and you showed all the good and the bad, all the difficulty in making films. If someone wanted to talk smack about Lloyd, you know, and the way you were doing things, you know, that was part of the DVD. You didn't hold anything back. You were very honest, very upfront about the entire process. And I really appreciated the hell out of that.
Well, the truth, you know, the truth will set you free, basically. And, you know, after 40 years of making my own damn movies, that's a lesson I've learned, that it's so much easier just to go with the truth, and you know, and it's interesting. The truth, that those Apocalypse Soon, The Making of Citizen Toxie, The Long Brown Line, which is making of Tales from the Crapper. I mean, those documentaries are great, and they're the best kept secret. Nobody knows about them. Where are all the fucking professors who are teaching film? They ought to be showing those things. It doesn't cost them anything, and they're so educational. I mean, they're great.
Well, and the priceless thing about it is all the things that we talk about on a show like this, all the things that you read about in other filmmaking books, you get to see. You get to,
Yeah.
you get to see those problems crop up, and you get to see the relationships on the set and the conflicts and the troubleshooting and how you get around, and it's just so much more powerful when you. Mostly to experience it, but then the next best thing is to see it in something like this, and then the next best is to read about it.
All the Love You Can. All the Love You Can shows Troma at the Cannes Film Festival, the biggest festival in the world. Guerrilla marketing. It shows, it's a primer. Yet it's very entertaining, and it's also you see where we've made mistakes, where we're jerks.
Yeah.
You can see one guy punch the other guy right in the face, and we're idiots. You can see me behaving like a jerk. So you can sort of. Draw your own conclusions. You don't. It's not like being spoon-fed something out of a film school. So we have to pay a lot of money.
That's right. So let's see. We got Jim wants to know, Lloyd, I've seen clips of Poltergeist on YouTube. It looks amazing, and I can't wait to see it theatrically. I've been spreading the bird to all of my friends to get the word out to theaters. Well, thank you, Jim.
Well, I hope that it'll put us beak in business.
That's right.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's really, and we need the fans to that's the only way that Troma can keep going is through our fans, through the word of mouth or the bird of mouth.
Let's see, Iron Toxie, any news on schlock and schlockability?
Well, now that I've got your attention, Schlock and Schlockability is a project that James Gunn and I developed years ago, and it has to be shot in the United Kingdom, which I believe is located in Germany somewhere. It's a Jane Austen project, and it's about the art world and kicking some cultural butt. But it's got to be done in the UK, in England, and we've got to find some money over there. I've got some money for it, and we haven't been successful yet to find it. So I would not count on Schlock and Schlockability ever getting made. I don't mean to be pessimistic. We've got a very prominent French producer, naturally, who's rewritten the movie in French, and this is a Jane Austen film that should be shot in the UK, so the guy has rewritten it in French and has got some big French stars who are interested. I can't imagine that it will... be what it's supposed to be. But at any rate, I think this my next film I don't think will be Schlock and Schlockability, although it's a wonderful project. It really is great.
B-Loaf wants to know, Lloyd, I've gone to my local theaters and they wanted nothing to do with a Troma festival. I would have to rent the theater myself, but I'm broke. How do I get a Troma festival in my hometown?
Well, I don't know about you, but I have lips like a woman, and I know how to use them. That's the only way I know to raise a few bucks here and there. But to go do it in a bar, do Troma. If you want to do a Tromadance, get a bar. Bars, on a Tuesday night they don't do much business. So you get a bar and you promo it, and you get street teams, and you need 3 or 4 months advance notice. But at Sundance. In Park City, we have 4 venues. We've got the Salt Lake City Library, which has a beautiful cinema. We've got a cinema called Broovies. But one of our main venues is on Main Street in Park City. Sure. It's a big bar. Right. And we set up a screen and we show the movies on, and it's all free. So use a bar, and then the bartender makes more money that way if it's a light night, and he'll give you the venue for nothing.
Actually, No Dance, another spin-off festival. It's now defunct, but it lasted about 6 or 7 years. That started in a condominium in someone's room on a TV.
Yeah, Jim Boyd is a good guy. I still see him every once in a while. He's a great guy.
And that got bigger, and it became something. And now
No Dance and Tromadance we helped each other. We were on each other's panels, and he's a good guy, Jim Boyd.
Well, we're going to be wrapping up. I want to apologize to everyone because there's a ton of instant messages that we haven't been able to get to, unfortunately, but we do appreciate you watching.
Well, I'll answer them. You can get me on, write to me on MySpace, and I'll answer every one of these.
There you go. We will hit a few more here since the Lord of the Manor has given me permission.
I think it's Lloyd, what is it, Lloyd at MySpace or MySpace.com / chicken zombie.
I blog every show, so by tomorrow afternoon there'll be a blog up for this show, and I'll have all your links as a part of the blog.
So if we haven't answered an IM, I'll be happy to answer all of them.
You
Just
can
give
find
me
out
some time.
how to contact Lloyd. Ben B wants to know, hi Lloyd, it's Richard Taylor, the blood boy from Poltergeist.
Yes, good guy, and makes his own damn movies, and they're great. Richard Taylor is a very talented young filmmaker.
LSD Slut, in all caps. Okay, Brian, this is the clean show, but I'm going to have to, throw it to the wind. You are the fucking shit, Lloyd.
Wow, thank you,
According to LSD Slut there.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I would like to hear more from you.
Yeah, okay. And Sean wants to know, is there any digital cameras that come close to 35 millimeter?
I'm not an expert on that field, but I know that if you write a note to me at MySpace, I'll get one of the Troma people who are experts to tell you. But it's definitely getting there. The HD is clearly beautiful now.
And lenses are really important when you're working with digital cameras. So we're going to wrap up now, but before we do, Brian, did we get any answers to that question?
Yeah, we actually got so many people answering. That's why I wanted you to
make it an email.
Yeah, make it an email, because there's no way I can tell when there's so many things on the board. There's no way I can tell like who got it first. So if you emailed interact@thestream.tv, we will. If you're one of the first couple for the items we have, we'll send you something. Otherwise, we'll try.
Also, if there's some kind of a tie or you need a few more, I'll get New York to send you a couple.
Oh, well, wow!
Right, well, there you have it.
Very generous. Okay. Well, so since we're going to assume that the answer's there before we go off the air, then what is the correct answer?
We don't use the word extras. We use the word actor persons, because on a Troma set, the stars and the crew, everyone should be equal. We're all human. We all sleep and defecate and do whatever. There's no reason that especially on a Troma set, when the star of the movie is basically a waiter or something, why should the production assistant carry his suitcases? And that's why we fired Toxie on Toxie Part 2. The guy got kicked out because he forgot he was just a big guy in a mask.
Well, Lloyd, I had about 7 or 8 pages of questions and about 8 or 9 clips we didn't get to, but that's okay because we're about the IMers. I really appreciate you coming on. It was a ton of fun. I can talk to you for days.
Well, thank you. Let's do it again. I'm out here once a month, so if you need me, I'm very available.
I'm sure we will do it again. Again, I have a ton of respect and admiration as someone who's still trying to get to where you are for what you've done. And in fact, you're having a great career. I wish you many more years of success. And again, it was just an absolute pleasure, and I hope to maybe be one of those people that goes up and can be part of the Troma family in some way, shape, or form, because I love what you're doing.
Well, thank you, and good night and good cluck.
Thank you very much. That's going to do it for us tonight. We're going to be back next week. Ghetto Scriptures. Ghetto Scriptures, yes, that's the name of the project we're going to be talking about with 2 great guests who worked on that project. So for Tina Palavides.
Palvides.
Palvides. Okay, I'm so bad. Peter Basler, Brian Grimeau, Jeff Schubert, thank you so much for tuning in, and of course the great Lloyd Kaufman. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Super. Very nice. It was fun. It was great fun, Jeff.
Oh,
Thank you.
As always, very much. Every time I talk to you,
I'm out of here. If you need me, I'm here. Saturday night, and then I'll call you guys, and we'll go there. That sounds cool.
Okay.
Get some Tromettes and go there. That sounds like fun.
It's a ride. Now, he used to show up, but the last time I went there, he didn't go. So
Oh.
He had a huge article in Sunset.
Fantastic.
Magazine.
That's great.
He was at the Magic. He's a regular at the Magic Castle.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who founded the science fiction, the Saturn Awards, Dr. What the hell was his name? Do you ever meet him?